Coach, have you and your staff talked to your players about watching what they say this particular week?
I did right after the ball game against Cal. But after that, I really haven't, because it's about who we are every day. You know, this week to us it's a great week. It's a great week for college football, but as a Trojan, you live it every day. This isn't a sometime thing; it's an all-the-time thing. So, you know, I addressed it after the ball game, and that, quite honestly, was about it.
Isn't it amazing, though, how the dominance in this series has shifted from one school to the next? It goes back and forth.
I think that's part of rivalries. You know, that's what makes rivalries great. If it didn't, then it wouldn't really be a rivalry, quite honestly. So, you know, I haven't really focused too much on, you know, historical trends or patterns or anything like that. I'm really more focused on, you know, how we practiced today, which was really good. I was proud of the guys.
Steve, the district attorney is not going to file charges against Josh Shaw. Can you give us an update on what's happening with him?
There's nothing new for me. It hasn't got to my desk yet, so you know, I think it's kind of more in the university's hands. It hasn't really gotten to me yet.
Would you anticipate kind of a quick resolution on the university's side?
I really don't know. It's not my hands yet.
How about Bryce Dixon? He was out here practicing, didn't play.
Yeah, it's ongoing. It's ongoing. It's actually in the university's hands as well. You know, they have given him the green light to practice, which is a positive. So we'll see where it goes from here.
But at this point, is he eligible to play in the game?
I don't know yet.
With Shaw being a senior, a couple games left, how much would you like to have him back?
I think it'd be great for Josh. You know, it's your senior year. You want to play, especially when it's your two rivals. We've played 10 games without him, so we have a pretty good understanding of who we are. So it'd be nice for Josh. It'd be nice to have him, but again, we've played 10 games without him.
How challenging is it for this week to be the same as usual, because there's so much hype and there's such a heated rivalry and so forth?
Really pretty easy.
Is it?
Yeah.
And there's more, you know, there's more media here, and there's more
really
attention.
Really not. If you guys came to the Fresno game, this is nothing. I don't know where you guys have been, but this is nothing.
How does J.R. Tavai look the last couple of days, and if he's able to play, what does that do for your defense?
JR has been good. He's looked healthy. He's looked fast and physical. JR is a hardball football player, and he brings a real presence to our defense. You know, brings a real attitude. Obviously, leadership. You know, anytime you have a senior on your defense that can play, it's helpful. So it's good to have him back.
You mentioned senior leadership in your defense. You know, it's the time of year where those guys are kind of nearing the end. Hayes is a guy who's been here and made plays for a long time. What does he mean to this team and, you know, you to coach him?
Well, I'm appreciative of Hayes. You know, anytime you have transition on a staff, as we've had now 11 months, almost 12 months for now, it takes those guys to embrace who we are and who I am for that kind of trickle-down effect to occur. I'm fortunate that I recruited Hayes at a high school. I've had a good relationship with his mother, and I think Hayes was a real key component to the team really embracing the new philosophies that we were bringing. And I'm happy for Hayes. He's had a very good season up to this point. You know, I'm hopeful that he can kind of close out his career here at SC on a high note, and that really kind of starts Saturday. So I'm anticipating him having a great game for us.
What impresses you most about him?
His leadership, unbelievable. He's just a very focused guy, very bright, great head on his shoulders. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
So if you could give us one word to describe Cody's play, Cody Kessler's play this year, what would that word be?
I'm not going to rush it, just so you know, because I'm going to come up with a good word because I know you're going to use it. I would say efficient. He's been extremely efficient. He's thrown the ball on time to the right people with accuracy. And the end result is he's got really good numbers. Our offense has good numbers, and it's because of his efficiency, the way he plays the game.
He doesn't seem to get a lot of credit for being. A lot of people have mentioned, well, they're pretty conservative. They don't. I think Mike Leach the other day said something about they put him in positions to be successful. I mean, it's almost like people are backhanding compliment. Does he not get the credit he deserves?
If I didn't put our players in position to be successful, I'd be a bad coach.
After the game, you said you needed to work on the running game this week. What are some of the things you focused on yesterday and today with your backs?
Well, I think one is our pad level with our backs, and two is our patience. I think our patience needs to be better, allowing the blocking schemes to occur, and then two, getting behind our pads. Really understanding when contact's going to occur and really running behind our pads. I feel like Buck has gotten a little bit high. He's kind of almost searching, looking for the run, rather than allowing the run to happen. So it's been a point of emphasis of ours the last 2 days.
What about from the offensive line's perspective? What have you guys been trying to improve on the last couple of days?
I mean, it's always fundamentals. It's always techniques. It's always communication is critical to what we're doing. Coach Drevno has done a phenomenal job with those guys. We're going to need to run the football Saturday against this defense from UCLA. They have excellent pass rushers, so we're going to have to keep them balanced. We can't just let them pin their ears back and rush the passer.
Is this the best team that you guys have played all year?
Ask me after the game.
And looking at the UCLA defense overall, what are the one or two things that stand out the most?
Their front, they're talented guys. Kenny Clark, Eddie Vanderdoes, Miles Jack, Deion Hollins, Kendricks. I mean, these guys are good players up front, and they're physical. They're aggressive in the secondary. They really get their hands on the receivers. They do a good job of putting their hands on receivers. So they really play a get-in-your-face style of defense, and it's going to challenge us.
You said before that a lot of times you're a little reluctant to blitz because you have a young secondary. At the same time, you said, too, you acknowledge that you can't let Hundley sit back and throw. Is this a week where that young secondary really has to step up and grow up because they're going to be dependent on the play man up at times?
We'll see. Ask me after the game.
Can you talk about your relationship and your respect for Jim Moran?
Yeah, Jim's a great coach. He's done a fantastic job at UCLA. We've grown to know one another really well in Seattle with some time off. He's done an excellent job at UCLA, in my opinion, really kind of changing a culture and a mindset. He's continued to recruit really well. And he took the players that he inherited and developed them. So, really good job. All that being said, I want to beat him Saturday. That's what makes competition great. When you respect somebody so much, it puts you in a mindset of, I know how much I have to prepare and how well we need to play ultimately to win.
You grew up, or did you grow up rooting for either one? I know you came here out of college, for a brief time.
I grew up loving the Trojans. I grew up going to the Coliseum since I can remember, watching the Trojans, watching the Raiders. I don't know a whole lot different than that.
Did you hate UCLA?
I didn't really hate them. I had two sisters that went to school there. I just, you grow up in LA, you choose a team, and that's about the end of it.
How active were you with Miles Jack?
Very active. Great respect for Miles. He's a heck of a player. Thought the world of him coming out of high school, Bellevue High. Kind of felt like, geez, he might be a better running back than a linebacker. Sure enough, UCLA's using him on both sides of the ball. But recruited Miles. I think we were the first school to offer him when I was at UW. Recruited him for about 3 years, and we chose to go to UCLA. It's a great place.
One more, guys.